I know that I'm a little bit late on this news, but since there's no real big news that I can talk about in the NFL right now, I think I'm going to talk about the two biggest trades that have happened this week. So today I'm going to be talking about the trade of Everson Griffin and Carlos Dunlap. What's up everybody, it's AC Analysis, and today I'm going to be talking about Everson Griffin and Carlos Dunlap being traded. And like I said in the intro, this news is about 2 days old, but I still wanted to make this video for you guys. And Everson Griffin, I made a video about him earlier in the year, about him going to the Cowboys, but he's now with the Lions. And Carlos Dunlap, a lifelong Bengal, actually now signed with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. But before we get into this video, if you guys enjoy consistent football content, liking and subscribing would be really helpful. We're on the road to 100 subs now, and every sub helps. And with that being said, let's get right into the video. These two elite defensive linemen were both drafted in the 2010 NFL Draft, and out of the gate, Carlos Dunlap showed that he was one of the best ends in the entire league. In his rookie season, he had 9.5 sacks and 24 tackles, and really didn't slow down from there, averaging about 8 to 9 sacks for a season, and really making a name for himself in the NFL. While Everson Griffin didn't play for his rookie season, but ever since then, he was also averaging 8 sacks for a season, and they both spent their entire career with one team until the later stages of their career after about 10 years with that team. A few months ago, I made a video talking about Everson Griffin being signed with the Cowboys on a $6 million contract for 1 year. And at this time, I was legitimately scared, since at this time, the Cowboys roster looked so good. They signed Aldon Smith, they had Everson Griffin on their defense, and I really thought that they would have a solid chance to make it to the Super Bowl. But you have seen what's happened now. The defense is absolutely horrific, and now it's to the point where the defense has to rebuild. I hope that the Cowboys keep their offense, because their offense is just fine. Dak Prescott, Zeke, Amari Cooper, they're just fine on the offense. But the defense is the problem. So they threw away some of their veterans like Everson Griffin, and in return they got back a 5th round pick. Was that really worth it? I'm not really sure. Everson Griffin was old, so I think it was an okay throwaway. But they basically just lost $4 million because like $4 million of Everson Griffin's contract was guaranteed. But this is probably bad for the Cowboys, because now you're just going to be wasting seasons off of Zeke and Dak Prescott's career. I don't think I announced this yet, but Everson Griffin did get traded away to the Detroit Lions. The other trade is to the Bengals' aging defensive end Carlos Dunlap, and like I said already, he spent most of his career, actually all of his career, with the Bengals. But lately, he's been having some sideline problems with the Bengals. He's been seen sending some weird messages saying, I don't want to be on this team. He's seen arguing on the sidelines, so it's pretty clear that he wanted out, because he did not really want to waste the rest of his career. So instead, he decided to sign with the Seattle Seahawks. And he was traded away for a 7th round pick, and he was also traded away for a second string offensive lineman. And I do like this trade because, first of all, the Bengals are looking to, rebuild, so they have a 7th round pick which can help them, and they get another offensive lineman to defend Joe Burrow. So I believe this trade was even on both sides, and he was traded to the Seahawks, and now the Seahawks are going to be so much better than they already are. I mean, their defense had so many struggles, and the only way that Russell Wilson has been able to win games is if he scores 40 points a game, because their defense is letting crazy amount of points. So Carlos Dunlap is put in there to maybe help the front five and maybe give them some more pass rush. Will he really put up more pass rush? I don't really know, but I do believe the signing was good for both sides. It's not exactly released yet how much Everson Griffin has signed for with the Detroit Lions, but this really helps solidify their defense, who actually have a really strong secondary with players like Desmond Trufant, Duron Harmon, and the up-and-coming Jeff Okudah. And now with Everson Griffin on the defensive line, it really helps the weakness of their team. And now they can have Trey Flowers and Everson Griffin on separate sides of the ball, which is kind of scary and I believe one of the more underrated parts of the team at this point. But the Lions are not going to make the playoffs, nothing crazy like that. But the Lions currently are 3-3, and they are putting up solid games. And they beat the Falcons. That was actually a pretty funny way that the Falcons lost. I had Todd Gurley on my fantasy team, so that was great. But they beat the Falcons, and the Lions are showing up and showing off the fact that they actually can win games. So this signing of Everson Griffin will really help the team, because now they do look kind of scary. And I do believe of the trade for Everson Griffin, I believe the Lions did win the trade. One thing I do notice about these two veteran pass rushers, they have both signed with teams that have some solid chances later down the line. Like for example, the Detroit Lions in the past 4 games have gone 3-1 and have won games against the Cardinals, the Falcons, and the Jaguars. The Falcons and the Jaguars aren't that impressive, but the Arizona Cardinals beating them is actually pretty impressive in my eyes. And then for the Seahawks, they're always a contender. As long as you have Russell Wilson back there, you're a contender. So these guys are on solid teams and winning teams, and they've come back from teams that have possibly gone like bottom 5 in the league. They've gone from bottom 5 teams into legitimate playoff contenders. Well, I wouldn't call the Lions a legitimate contender since they're in the NFC North and that is a very tough division, but Carlos Dunlap did go to a winning team, and the Seahawks are always in contention. As long as they have Russell Wilson back there, they always have a chance to make the playoffs. But, these players have both gone to teams that will win games, and when you're a veteran, I can see you more going for the wins than the money, because you already have enough money to settle down and live the rest of your life, as long as you've spent responsibly. So now you're just trying to win the games, and I'm kind of happy for these guys for going on to winning teams. But with that being said, that'll wrap up this video. This has been AC Analysis talking about Carlos Dunlap going to the Seahawks and Everson Griffin going to the Detroit Lions. I'm sorry that this video was a little bit shorter, but I wanted to get this video quickly out there. And if you guys enjoy consistent football content, remember, liking and subscribing would be really helpful. We're on the road to 100 subs, and every sub helps. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you next time.